Very good morning, dear students. Welcome to your economics class, students. Today, I am going to start your next chapter, collection of data. Before starting this chapter, there are some important terms that should be understand. First is investigator. A person who is investigator, a person who conduct the statistical inquiry is called investigator. Enumerator is a person who actually collect the data. So sometime investigator appoints some persons to collect the data from various sources. So enumerator are those person who actually collect the data for investigation from the field of the inquiry. Respondent is a person from whom data is collected. Statistical inquiry is an investigation on a topic by an agency wherein relevant quantitative information is collected. As you know that statistical means quantitative information. Survey is a method of gathering information from individuals on a topic. It is conducted by asking questions about a topic from the selected group of people. So student, next topic is sources of data. So there are two sources of data, primary data and secondary data. So under primary data which is originally collected by an investigator or agency for the first time. Okay, so primary data is also called fresh data because it is collected by the investigator first time for some specific purpose directly from the field of inquiry. Whereas secondary data which is already have been collected and processed by some agency and the other then investigator for the different purposes. So secondary data is already available. Okay, the investigator must use this data for its own purpose. So primary data is more accurate and reliable. It is the original data collected by the investigator himself for a specific purpose. So primary data is more accurate because investigator collect this data by himself. Secondary data is less reliable because that data is collected for some other purpose. Okay, so it is also called the second hand data. It requires more time and effort because it is actually collected first timely, and the secondary data it is require less time and effort. Primary data, it is more costly as number of enumerator are required to collect the data and enumerator must paid by the investigator. So this method is costly as comparison to secondary data. So secondary data is less costly as it is taken from a published or unpublished data sources. So primary data is raw data, okay, on which statistical tool need to be applied, but secondary data is finished and processed. No need of editing, tabulation is there. Example of primary data is census data collected by the government, and the example of secondary data is data published in economic survey. Next are there students some methods which are used to collect the primary data. First method is direct personal investigation. Direct personal investigation, as you see in the picture, one person is enumerator or the investigator and the second person is respondent. The investigator personally collect the data from the respondents. So under this method, the investigator collect the data by having a direct face-to-face interview with the respondent. The investigator goes to the field personally and conduct an on the support inquiry. Stability of this method, when this method is stable, when the area of investigation is not too very large and when maximum degree of accuracy is required. Merits of this method, students, the first hand information is there obtained by the investigator himself is bound to be more reliable and accurate. So information is more reliable and accurate. Facial expression or reactions of the respondent can be observed and some additional information also can be gathered except from the purpose. Investigator has flexibility of carrying ambiguous questions and avoiding misinterpretation of questions. Next is students demerits of this method. There is a possibility of influencing respondent. Sometimes respondent may give false information due to the influence of investigator. It is more time consuming and more expensive. Not stable in the area where in the area of inquiry where it is large. Okay, when number of respondents is also large, so face-to-face interview is very difficult. Next method of primary data collection is telephonic interview. As you see in the picture, telephones are there. Under this method, data is collected by the investigator through an interview with the respondent over the telephone. Okay student, so stability of this method is in the case the respondent is reluctant to answer certain questions in a face-to-face interview and data is to be collected in a short time of period. Merits of this method: cheaper and can be conducted in a short period of time. Method can be conducted by cover the investigator over a large area. It is possible to assist respondent by clarifying questions. Demerits of this method is limited scope. It is not useful in the case of respondent has no telephone connection. Facial expression or reactions of the respondent cannot be observed. Next is mailed questionnaire method or mailed interview. Under this method, the investigator make the questionnaire pertaining to the field of investigator which is sent to the respondent along with the covering letter specifying the purpose of inquiry and a request to complete and return the same by given a date. The respondent are also assured that secrecy of the information provided by them. So in these questions are asked from the respondent by sending him a mail. Stability of this method: where large area is there, this method is suitable. A questionnaire. A questionnaire is a list of questions pertaining. So when mailed method is used, a questionnaire is prepared which is sent to the respondent. So the merits of this method is it is less expensive. Okay. Also used in remote area where no connection of telephone, also where no the investigator cannot go to that place. Second is every question is interpreted by the respondent himself, hence is free from the personal bias to the investigator. It is best method when anonymity of the respondent needs to be maintained. Demerits of this method is students, it can be used if the respondent are literate. Okay. It does not allow the investigator to see the reaction of the respondent. Accuracy or reliability cannot be testified. And there are chances of no response or a long response time period because of mail delay. So students, there is an important term, pilot survey. So before sending a questionnaire in a mail to the respondents, first of all a pilot survey is conducted. Pilot survey means pre-testing of the questionnaire. So a try out or a trial run of questionnaire with a small group of respondents is known as pilot survey. The pilot survey helps in providing preliminary idea about the survey and in a pre-testing of the questionnaire so as to know the shortcomings and the drawback of the questions, and it should be clarified or it should be corrected. Okay students. So after that the questionnaire will be sent. So there are some essentials of a good questionnaire. First is a covering letter. A polite covering letter explaining the purpose and the scope of survey should be sent to the respondent, ensuring them secrecy and confidentiality of their responses. Type of questions. While preparing the questionnaire interview schedule, one should keep in mind the following points. First is a series of questions should be moved from general to specific. Questions should be precise, clear, and should not be ambiguous. The question should not use double negative and personal question. The questionnaire may consist of close-ended questions and open-ended questions. These are structured or unstructured question. Closed-ended can either be a two-way question or a multiple choice question, where open-ended questions are subjective, so are difficult to interpret and hard to score. Layout. The layout of the questionnaire should be attractive, pleasing to the eye of the respondent. Enough space should be provided to each answer. The questionnaire should not be too long. The number of questions should be minimized as possible. Next is sources of secondary data. So there are two sources of secondary data: published sources and unpublished sources. So students, as you know that secondary data is a second-hand data, so it is already published. So the investigator can collect this data from the various sources, that is published or unpublished. So published sources are students government official publications. So government official publications like Annual Economic Survey, Census of India report, NSSO, the National Sample Survey Organization report published in Sarvekshana Journal. Semi-government publications like report published by municipalities on birth, death, education, report of committee and commissions, publications of research institutes, international publications, newspaper and magazines. So these all are published sources from which data is collected by the investigator, and all these are published sources. So unpublished sources include statistical material maintained by research scholars, private investigation agency, hospital administration, school administration, and private firms, etc. So, limitation of secondary data is one may not be sure for the method of procedure adopted for collecting data. It may be influenced by personal judgment of the investigator. It may lack accuracy as data is collected for different purposes. The data may be outdated or may not cover the full period of investigation. So data may be outdated, not cover the full purpose. So what the investigator do? He had to collect the original data using the primary sources. Okay, students. So while collecting the secondary data, some precautions should be needed. First is suitability for the purpose. The investigator must ensure that data is suitable for the purpose of inquiry by checking the nature and scope of the data. Reliability of data. The reliability of data can be checked by experience of the agency's source of information and method of the data collection used. Adequacy and accuracy of data should be maintained. So these are the precautions while using the